All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Bayyinah and Friends. This is Franz Court Jr. Today is August, 19?
20.
20. August 20th, 2020, the year of clear vision. So I want to welcome everyone for a special episode, a special session of Bayyinah and Friends. This is not going to be the regular guest interview type of program that we usually have. I got a very special call from Professor Bello yesterday, and she wanted to make sure that the messages that we've been transmitting to everyone over the past 3 or 4 months, maybe more, I'm not sure how long we've been doing this, has been, about 4 months, has been received clearly, and that we want to do some house cleaning, some housekeeping, and we want to make sure that all of us are on the same page. Bless you.
Bless you.
So without further ado, I want to introduce the host of this program, Professor Bayyinah Bello.
Thank you very much, Franz. Greetings to everyone. Greetings to all of our guests, wherever they are. Today we're not having a guest, and we are all guests in Bayyinah and Friends. As Franz just told us, if you're going somewhere, you have to stop and check and see that you're on the right road, and that you are at that corner. You have to know exactly where you're going to turn. Is it gonna be left, right, go forward, take a few steps back? You make sure you're on the right road in the right way. And that's what we're doing today. We have been doing this since April. So May, June, July, August, that's 4 solid months, a quarter of a year. And we are not doing it. We want to make sure we're not doing this for, it's like kind of fun because we have nothing else to do. We want to be clear on the purpose. We want that everyone should grow and gain with us. And we want everyone to be implicated, involved, and not be just on the side looking at how things are going. So this is the talk we had, Franz and I, and we determined that yes, today would be a good day to know our audience better, our guests in the audience better, structure what we're doing so we know we're going somewhere, not just having talks and everybody say, oh yeah, that was great, ha ha ha. Yeah, oh, I enjoy what she said, I enjoy what he said. And then you go on about your life just the way it always was. If this is what it is, then it's time to bring it to a closure. But if it is more than that, then it's time to bring it to better structure and clearer vision, clearer intentions, objectives, and then everyone taking responsibility for whatever part of the program that they feel comfortable with. So this is what we're going to do. Before we go further, we are going to do one thing that is very, very important that we have to do all the time, and I cannot stress it enough. As we enter this world where we are forced to wear masks, which is not good for your health, you need to be more conscious of your breathing in the mask and out of the mask. So deep breathing is not a choice today. Just like you don't have the choice about the mask. There are places where you go, they tell you you gotta wear it. Well, you also should make it your business if you wanna stay healthy, that you're not going to, you're going to do what has to be done so your lungs don't start giving you problems in 6 months, in a year. So deep breathing is the number one thing we all need to practice as often as possible. Before you put the mask on, at least 21 times. After you take it off, another 21 deep breath. And every time you think about it, every time it comes to mind, do some deep breath. That is a must. We want, if we are soldiers in an army, we want to be healthy. If we're not healthy, we will be crushed. So step number one is our breathing. So let's do a few deep breaths. Let's take a few deep breaths together. And I will guide you. Sit up straight. Whenever you're doing deep breathing, your back should be straight. So your vertebrae are well aligned. Your feet both on the ground, not crossing, not anything, on the ground, and your hands resting on your thighs towards the knee. That's one of the simplest positions. And we're going to do 7 deep breaths, not only for our health, but to connect to all the greater forces within us, so we can accomplish our mission, collective and individual. So let's begin. Take in, take in, take in, hold, let out through the mouth, let out, let out. At the same rate that you took it in, the same rate you should let it out. Take in, in, hold, let out, out, out. We start again. Take in, hold, let it out, 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 out. Number 4, take in through the nose, take in, hold, let out, out, out. Start again. Number 5, take in, hold, let out, out, out. Number 6, take in, hold, out, out, out. And the last one, take through the nose, take a deep breath in, hold, hold, hold. Take out, out, out. Relax. You need to do this. Don't allow this new way of doing things. Remember, when you have the mask on your face, Nature has it that you take in oxygen and send out carbon dioxide. When you put on the mask, you're taking in the carbon dioxide that you're sending out. That can do great damage to your health. Wear it only when you have to, but before you wear it, after you put it on, you take it off, make sure you give your lungs a chance by doing deep breathing. Thank you for your cooperation. We're gonna go on with freedom, our purpose, our collective purpose, our number one purpose. More than anything, greater than country, greater than empire, greater than ownership of. Without freedom, all the rest doesn't matter. And that's what we lack most of, freedom. So, Fonz, would you read the first part for us, please? First paragraph.
Freedom. Our first mistake was that we thought of freedom as a place rather than a continuation of a struggle.
Tyranny never sleeps. Marlene. The third paragraph.
Our second mistake was that we thought of freedom as a goal rather than as a launching pad from which to reach our goals.
Look there.
Without purpose, freedom hardly matters.
I don't know who is there with the white headpiece. Please take the next one. The name is not showing. Oh, well, the next person, go ahead. Somebody take the next one.
Our third mistake was that we thought that freedom would make us free. That, however, is license, not freedom at all.
And again, someone else, the next one.
Freedom is being shackled to identity, purpose, and direction, and being in constant pursuit.
Excellent. So we're looking again at this reflection that our ancestor, Ethiopian philosopher Amunhotep, has invited us to nearly 5,000 years ago. And still today, we haven't had a very good thought about it. We haven't had a deep enough analysis of his words. Let's see, who do I see? Laudy Mortimer, Pierre. What does this mean to you, freedom?
Freedom means being able to do what's right for you and for your family and for your community, and being able to meet the challenges and the obstacles and having the right tools to do so.
Would someone else tell us what freedom means to them?
I feel like freedom means is being your true authentic self without without being apologetic about it.
Someone else?
Freedom is independent thought.
Thank you, sir. If we've gone to school and have memorized or engraved in us the thoughts, words, language, mores, custom practices of our enemies, are we free?
No.
No, colonize.
No, we are not free. So if we are into fashion, I wear this dress because that's what's in. I wear these pants. I wear short skirt because that's what's in. I wear long something because that's what's in. Do I know what I like in as far as dressing?
No.
I Obviously not.
I'm
So
just
if I
following.
even know what I want to wear, what I consider attractive, elegant, then how could I pretend to think that I am a free person? Even in something as simple as what you wear. See, all of it speak of who you are. And that's why our brother and sister says, freedom is being shackled to identity. So if I am following what people say should be done, I went to school because everybody was saying, I went to med school because everybody was saying, when you go to med school, when you come out, you earn more money than other people. What's that as a purpose? Do I have anything in me about that? No, I don't. So freedom is really a necessity. It's the first step to becoming yourself. You have to seriously think, what is freedom to you? And before you can answer that, you have to know who you are. That's a must. If we don't know who we are, we cannot be free. A bird cannot aspire to go swim in shark's current. That is a mad bird. A fish who is aspiring to climb a tree and go sing on top of the tree is a mad fish. Because both of them have lost their identity. So they are wanting things that have nothing to do with their environment, their natural environment to exist. They are actually killing themselves with their wishes. Okay, so everyone has the text. So everyone should, it's not just on Thursdays when we look at it that you should be looking at it. I've been reading this text for over 20 years and I am not yet, I haven't finished. I am still enriched every time I reread it, every time I debate on it, every time I exchange on it. So hopefully each one of us have a degree more of freedom as we do this exercise week after week. Now, if we are free, then the next step to freedom is A is identity, and B is purpose. Without purpose, you could say all you want, you could sing all you want, but you cannot be a free person if you have no purpose. And that's precisely where we are at Bayyinah and Friends today. We wanted to take this time to look at our purpose. So we're going to put the question to the floor. Why do you think we're doing this? I mean, when Franz takes 2 hours from all that he has going, he has real estate business, he writes books, he does publishing, he does all these different things. So when he takes 2 hours to do Bayyinah and Friends, it's 2 hours that he could have been doing a lot of other things, even if it's just selling his books. But he invested in all of us. He invested for collective good. And so he and I, we want to see that we are building something. You know, very often people say, well, yeah, Malcolm spoke, Malcolm did this, and so did that, Garvey did that, but today there is what? There is what? Well, there is all the words, all the principles, all the advice that he gave, but if there isn't anything solid, there isn't a Garvey building, there isn't a Malcolm building, there isn't an organization, a powerful organization of Malcolm X. It's not Malcolm's fault. He laid the groundwork for it. But did we follow? Did we carry on? Did we carry through? Okay. So if Bayyinah and Friend is just a question of we sit down and we chat and everybody feels good and we go away, then I guess we've done enough of it. But if it is a space where people feel we can come and grow and learn and build together, build what we need, build where we want to go, what we want to put together, build the strength, the power. So in 10 years, in 20 years, our people are not where we were, where we are today. If that is your purpose, then welcome to Bayyinah and Friends. And let's pousser pointe. Huh? Everybody knows what that means, pousser pointe? That means what? Jade.
Roll your arms up.
Your sleeves.
Roll up your sleeves and start working.
All right. That's what it is. If we want to do, no work gets done without pousser pointe, without being serious about getting involved in the work. The talking doesn't make the work, doesn't get the work done. Action is where we have to go. And in order to have actions that mean something that is going to materialize, there has to be a clear purpose. So, step one to our work today, let's each person just take a few seconds, just say who you are and what your profession is. Because we have to have the data. If we're going to build something together, we have to know what each block, where each block is. So today it's not about big conferences, it's about getting some work done. And Franz has a lot of work to do. He has to capture all of this. All right?
Can I start?
Yes. Okay, hold on. Let's try to do this in an orderly fashion.
That's Franz's domain.
Okay.
Because I don't want everyone just jumping in on top of each other. So let's do this how we kind of do the Q&A. And we're going to raise everyone. I want you to find that raise hand icon so that we can go ahead and choose you.
Where is it?
It's if you look under, somebody in the chat, could you help the ones that can't find the raise hand icon?
It's under participant.
Yeah, it should be under participants or something like that, somewhere over here. I can't find it either. And I'm the host.
If you click more.
Oh, I'm learning. Yes. Press participants, and then to the right, you have three on the bottom of the names. You have invite, mute me, and raise hand.
There you go. All right, very good. Okay, so we got hands raised, so let's go ahead and get started. So very simple. You're going to start with your name and what, go ahead, Mom.
Let me give you an example. My name is Bayyinah Bello. I'm a professor of anthropology.
There you go. Very simple. All right. No bios this time around. The bios is for next. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. First is Yaya Coleman. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Yaya. Mine.
Okay.
All right, you're on mute. Okay, next, let's go with Marlene. Marlene Jean.
My name is Marlene Jean, and I am a registered nurse.
Thank you. Okay, Yaya, I saw that you unmuted. You could go again. Go ahead.
I'm a spirit having an African woman experience, community worker and grassroots journalist from Belize.
Thank you.
Excuse me, may I? Yeah, one other thing, just do say what city.
Okay.
What city you live in, okay.
Okay, Marlene, what city were you in?
I live in Hackettstown, New Jersey.
Okay, thank you. All right, next, Imani.
Greetings. My name is Imani Nassour. I'm in London, in the UK, and I'm a management consultant and a spiritual advisor.
Thank you, Imani. Okay, next, Louis Mortimer.
Okay, hello. My name is Ludi Mortimer. I am a ESOL teacher from Florida.
Thank you very much. All right, next, Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a Reiki therapist and a writer.
All right, Flatbush, stand up. All right, Lukman. Go ahead, Lukman,
Unmute
you're on
yourself.
mute.
Unmute.
Okay, my name is Lochner. Greetings, brother friends. I make a one. I stop when I greet you last time. Okay. Anyway, my name is Lochner. I'm a management consultant in risk management and compliance and cybersecurity, and then as well seasonal professor in risk management in Canton de Fribourg in Switzerland, and where I'm living in Arc-en-Ciel.
All right, very good. Thank you, Lucknow. Okay, next, Francine. Francine Leonard. Francine, are you there? You're on mute. Okay, we go to the next one. Kamai and Sariba.
Hello.
Oh, there's Francine. Go ahead, Francine.
Hi. Sorry, my mic wasn't off, but I'm behind here multitasking. I'm an art therapist, writer, poet, a somatic experiencing practitioner, and a polarity therapist and art therapist.
And what city are you in?
Oh, Berkeley, California.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Francine.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Kamai and Sariba.
Yes, my name is Kamai. I am a musician and researcher on music. I am from Brazil, but currently living in Weimar, Germany.
My name is Suelen. I'm a visual artist and researcher, and I'm working currently with heritage restitution. And I live with Kamai here in Germany, in Weimar City, and I'm from Brazil also.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. All right, next, Jade Arundel.
Peace and Black Power. I'm Jade Arundel. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm an educator, community organizer, and independent journalist.
Awesome. Thank you, Jade. All right, next is Jocelyn.
Yeah, hello, my name's Jocelyn Joseph, and I'm an oral health educator and also a dental nurse.
All right.
And I'm from London. And I'm from
London.
London.
Okay, London. Thank you very much, Jocelyn. Okay, next, Keola Downing.
Actually, my name is Prema Kadir. I'm in Detroit, Michigan. I'm a civil engineer retired. I'm a webmaster and a video producer and a digital media freelancer. And I apologize, I had a client, Keola Downing, and somehow I'm in his account.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. What was your name again?
Prema Kadir, Premaqadir.
Okay, all right, that makes sense because I saw that name in the registration. Okay, thank you. Next, there's no name here, it just says Galaxy Tab A. If you have a Galaxy Tab A, I guess that's the name of the device, I don't know. I will come back to that. Kenny Che.
Hello. Chia is my last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Educator, creative entrepreneur, and aspiring writer.
What city?
I'm in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Kenny.
Bye.
Okay, Adwoa Island.
Greetings, my name is Eastland. I go by Adwa. I am a toddler teacher. I am located in Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, next we have Irvin Neal.
Hi, I'm Irvin. I'm an organic farmer and a community organizer, currently in Belize.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Irvin. Next, Marsha Bois.
Hi, I'm Marcia Bois. I am in New York, Queens. I am a marketing analyst. And I also do a youth educational program for young men 7 to 12.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Marcia. Can we go back to Galaxy Tab A? Galaxy Tab A, if you could unmute yourself.
Hi.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Atul Ma'at. I'm in Palm Springs, California, and I run a wellness center here.
Okay, great. Can you repeat your name one more time, please?
Atul Ma'at.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got it. Thank you. Okay, Wahid.
Yeah, I'm Wahid Abdullah. This is my wife, Queen.
Faye Abdullah. Greetings, peace, purpose for everybody.
Yeah, we're nutrition coaches. We live in Indianapolis, Indiana, followers of Dr. Sebi.
I'm also a medical technologist, soon to be retired.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next is Nima.
Hi, I'm Naima Yasin. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm a retired speech and language pathologist, but I'm also a musician and dancer.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, Nima.
Mm-hmm.
Next is just says iPhone. So if you're on your iPhone and that's your name on here, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Samia. I'm from Belize, but currently living in Mexico City. I'm a web developer and community organizer.
Fantastic. We have a lot of community organizers here.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Okay, thank you. Now, Kaylin Marin.
Hello, I also go by Makeda from Belize. I'm a entrepreneur and a community organizer.
Can you repeat that a little bit louder, please?
Sorry, Kaylin Marin Makeda. Kaylin Marin or Makeda from Belize. I'm a community organizer and I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay, thank you. Belize is in the house strong.
Absolutely. Belize is standing strong.
Yes, indeed. Thanks to Yaya. All right.
That's
Okay, next is we have Ulrich Dos, or Ulrich Dos.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm Ulrich Dosu from Benin Republic in West Africa. I'm a tech entrepreneur and living in Boston.
All right.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Ulrich. Okay, next we have Charlene Sampson.
Hi, greetings, my beautiful people. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wonderful. I'm Charlene Nim, and I am an entrepreneur filled with love and open-mindedness to whatever task is assigned to me to get us to where we need to go to restore balance.
Fantastic. Thank you, Charlene. We have a lot of entrepreneurs. Well, I guess it's the middle of the day, so we would have all the entrepreneurs on the show.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Charlene. Next is Ismail Arizman.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. My name is Ishmael Arzman. I am an herbalist. I'm currently residing in Riverside, California. I am a native of Miami, descendants of IET. My wife and I, we currently own our all-natural organic herbal healing company called Blessed Love Healing Co. And we're here to grow spiritually. We got the herb side of it, and we're here to grow spiritually. Greetings.
Greetings, brother. Greetings. Thank you. Okay, next, Joel McCall.
Greetings, my name is Joel McCall. I'm in Boston and I'm an educator and writer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm seeing a few people that say they can't raise their hand. So if you can't raise your hand, just type it in the chat and then we'll grab it there. I'll be able to save the chat. All right, that was Joel. Thank you, Joel. Now, Munir Kaba.
Hi, everybody. I'm Munir Kaba. I'm from Guinea and I live in Paris. I'm an IT consultant and a real estate agent.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Kaba. All right. Next, we have R. Dirksen.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am a professor, usually based in Bloomington, but I split my time, Bloomington, Indiana. I split my time between Port-au-Prince and Bloomington most of the time, but I'm currently in New Haven, Connecticut. As an ethnomusicologist, I focus really on music in Haiti, focusing on social justice, environmental justice, and sacred healing.
Okay, thank you very much. And what was your name again?
Rebecca Dirksen.
Rebecca Dirksen. All right, thank you, Rebecca. Let's see, next we have Dr. Ya. Dr. Ya.
Greeting, everybody. My name is Dr. Ya Ilombe, and I am a Mambo Makut / pastoral counselor, grassroots organizer, and aspiring philanthropist.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Ya. Next is Daphne Bruno. Daphne Bruno, could unmute.
I'm here. I'm sorry. It took me a minute.
No problem.
Bonsoir tout le monde, honneur respect. My name is Daphne Bruno. I am a developmental psychologist. I am a professor. I have a company called Elevated Living Consulting, where I provide educational material to educate our people and restore balance.
All right, thank you. What city did you say again? I'm sorry.
I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. All right, thank you, Daphne. All right, next is Paulema Mio. Paulema, you could go ahead, unmute yourself. Give us your info, please. Paulema, oh, there you are.
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Paulema Mio, and I work for human resources for an airline in Boston, but I am currently pursuing entrepreneurial opportunities in IT.
Okay, very good, thank you. All right, next we have Celine Leduc. Go ahead, Celine.
You might be on mute.
No, she just unmuted, but I still can't hear her. Celine.
Volume, maybe?
Okay, we can't hear you, Celine, so we'll come back to you, okay? All right, next is Diana. Diana Revolus.
Revolus. Hi, guys, how are you? I'm actually knee deep in clay right now, but I am, okay, so I am a business owner. I am, I guess, a community leader. I am a child advocate and community activist. I am also a local representative in the state of Norwalk, Connecticut, and a second generation grassroots leader and a mother and family from Haiti. And I think I covered it all. Oh, and a member of the Haitian American Collaborative, which I don't know my partners here, but Francis, and we do a lot, but a leader of a lot of stuff, but also a member of the Haitian American Collaborative.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Diana.
Excuse me, would you allow me to make a remark? We're doing something and discipline is key. Let's keep it for everyone to have a chance. Keep it very short. Name, profession, city. Thank you.
Yes, okay, we have 5 more. So Keisha Rodriguez.
Hi,
I am Keisha Rodriguez. I am an urban planner. I'm from Belize.
Thank you, Keisha. Next we have Fancy. Fancy, okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Frances, also known as Fancy. I own a marketing firm as well as the Haitian American Collaborative. So I am a community activist / leader, and I am based out of Bridgeport, Connecticut, really the whole state of Connecticut. That's all.
All right, thank you, Francine. Okay, next we have, oh, whoops, I think I skipped somebody. Walkie Joseph.
Yeah, hello everyone. As you said, I'm Walkie Joseph, and I do social work. I am a community organizer and a student in theology. I live in Philadelphia.
You live where? I'm sorry.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Okay, thank you, Walkie. Okay, next up, Mara Livermore.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mara. I am in Liverpool, in England, and I am a coach, consultant, and trainer and budding academic.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mara. Okay, next, last but not least, Terrain.
Hi, I'm Train. Came to the earth on the winds of Oya. I am an artist, and I'm in Toronto.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Okay, so that is it for our hands that were raised, but if you did not get a chance to raise your hand and mention your name, your city, and your occupation, just put it in the chat, and then we'll be able to go forward. And also, I'm going to add that everybody that was on today, I'm going to send out, because, I mean, it might be a little difficult for me to capture all of the information on here on video, but I'm also going to follow up with an email, with sort of like a Survey Monkey type of email where you guys can list that information as well, so that we can have that on file. So thank you, everyone. Go ahead, Professor.
Thank you very much, Hans. Thank you to everyone. We've seen some faces we had not seen before. We heard some names we had not heard before, but then we saw also many faces and names that we have heard many times. And to all of you, thank you very much. Thank you for participating in the work. Now, we are looking at two things. Number one, we noticed quite a few parents are asking about raising their children properly. As you know, we do always take and give. So you just gave us information, and we're going to have another session of us giving you some information before we return to receiving from you again. So you see, if you look at nature, nature guides how we should behave. It gives us all the elements if we would just pay enough attention. Okay. In everything, if everyone was working by the laws of nature, reciprocity would not be something we have to say to somebody. Sharing is natural. The earth shares, the water shares, the sun shares, everything that is alive shares. So when one would have an attitude of not wanting to share with anyone, then that person would quickly, if they were observing nature, they would quickly be able to correct themselves and adjust. And then justice would be a natural thing on this earth. So we now, one request we've had a lot in the past month are young parents wanting to have some information as to how to guide their children so the children are not raised in ignorance, are not raised in lack of love of self, lack of esteem of self. And of course, if you don't love self, you don't esteem self, you're not gonna love the group that you belong to. You're not even gonna be aware of it. So let's look, we're just gonna give a few pointers today, but we plan to do a very special program because it seems to be a real worry for many of you as to what to do with the children. I will go back to some of our practices. In Africa, when a child, when I say Africa, I'm not talking about colonized Africa. That's clear. We're talking about African when Africans were Africans and they knew themselves and lived their culture according to their own rules, their own purpose. So what was most common is that when a child is born, parents would wait at least 8 days before naming the child. Even if you know, and generally parents would not name, but there were specialists who knew how to come and look at this child. You would call for somebody when the child is born who would observe this baby, and the person would see which ancestor is returning through this child. So that would be part of the name process. Yes, the child is named for the day of the week that he's born. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Ya, Kwame, Kosud. All these are different names that tells you what day the person was born. But the second name is the name of which ancestor has returned to here, and what is the purpose that this child is going to go after. What part of because life is a continuing, it's not each life is a je suis moi-même, moi c'est I am me. No, it's a continuing. We come here to continue what the ancestors began because the ancestors are in us anyway. So if we can identify it, then we are better able to guide ourselves on the proper path. So children are named second for the ancestor, third for the mission. So you see, when we look at a text like freedom, and it tells us to be free is A, to have identity, B, purpose, 3, direction, C, being in constant pursuit. Constant. So you can't just, well, my thing, I have to have a house, I have to have a house, I have to have a house. And then once you have a house, you sit in the house and eat and drink, watch TV, the house is falling apart, and that's it. You have the satisfaction of having a house and this is it. No. Purpose. Every time you accomplish one thing, there is 1,000 other things behind. So the purpose is continuously reshaping, reorganizing, and constantly generating energy and actions. All right. So we name our children, if we name our children properly, then we already give this child a great deal to start off to work with. Okay. Second thing that we noticed in most African cultures, most African traditions, parents did not hit their children. Parents did not even call their children by their names. There was always, we didn't make it, wasn't the thing, everybody in the world has to know what your name is, your date of birth. No, generally these things were things that were kept and used when it was necessary in important situations. The third thing, we spoke in the ear of the child on the 8th day. When the first person to hear the name should be the child. Once it's been decided this child will be called this, then the father would tell the name in the left ear, the right ear. The mother, would tell the child her name on the left ear. So the child knows first what his name is, what her name is, before we go out and tell people my child's name is. Okay, because remember, the name, sound is energy. Energy carries purpose. Energy carries strength, force. So we cannot play with things. That's why many African cultures did not know things like jokes, saying things for fun. No, if it's coming out of your mouth, that means you're calling it into reality. So then you can't just say things, you know. And sometimes we're not careful how we even play with our own children. You can't have a child and you're calling this child Piggy or some ugly kind of name that carries a nasty energy. And then you're surprised when this child acts according to the energy that you have put on him, on her, all her life, all his life. So we name the child with care. We're careful how we speak to our children. We tend to, in this society, to say to children, you don't, you didn't, you don't, you didn't, you don't, you didn't. Instead of saying, how about if you did it this way? Did you notice what you did? That shows lack of self-control. You know how important self-control is. How about try it again? Let me see you walk around the room with self-control. Let me see you sit on the couch and not jump on it. So if we constantly reinforcing the positive, we're constantly guiding from a positive point of view, we certainly will get more than the way we do today. But then today you also have the big problem of children are in front of television all day long and we don't know what they're looking at. And they're looking at some horrible things. That stuff is putting plenty in your child's head. I was a very tough mother, and my children did not watch television before 7. That was a no-no in my house. First of all, I wouldn't have one because I felt this was something that would have too much power over my child and turning my child into what I don't necessarily want. So I was very careful about what they look at. And when I did allow it at 7, it was that we looked at something, a recording together. I saw it first, and then we look at it together, and then we could talk about it. But I knew what my child was going to be exposed to. Color is a big problem. This whole race issue, black, white, purple. People hate this one, that one, hate that one. We have to deal with it. We can't pretend it doesn't exist. So if our children are looking at films that is denigrating Black people, denigrating Black race, well, you cannot expect that they're gonna grow into people who think that as Black people, they are correct, they have rights, they have freedom, they can determine what goes on in their lives. Okay, so the food, what we give our children to eat is important. Today is very, very, even more complicated than when I was raising children. But it's very, very important to pay attention. And all that sugar, I don't need to tell you, you all know. All this soda and coca and stuff that, we're putting in our children's mouth at a very early age, not the best. Same thing with the temperature of things. Our children should be, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, our children should be raised with room temperature drinks, not cold stuff. The cold stuff does a lot of harm to the body. It's not even good for us. So giving it to very young children, it's not the best thing, certainly not. So if you decide you really want to give your child their very best, everything that will be good for them, do it with no sugar. Even if a child is raised the first 3 years with no sugar, when you give it to them the first time, this thing is so addictive, they want it. They want it all the time. So if don't start when you don't have to. Don't put sugar in a baby's bottle. No. Let him have his tea, his juice, his whatever, natural. Later you may have to, but at first do your best to stay away from it, because it does do a lot of harm. There is a different surveys show, for example, Togo is the last country where they brought in white sugar in Africa. Togolese, up until 1940-45, 90% of the population did not know what rotten teeth was. Bad teeth. They did not know that. Everybody had all their teeth until they died. Sugar came in around 1940, 45, 50. And 20 years later, more than 60% of the population had caries. They had all the mouth problems. So it's, the information is there. So let's make an effort. And remember, it's not just the taste, it's in everything. It's in the salt, in the rice. So we have to really look the labels, read the labels as to what we're giving to the children, especially the first 7 years. It's vital. Exercise is important. What kind of picture decorates your house? What are the books that you choose to read for your children? Snow White is out. If you want your Black child to feel comfortable about himself, herself, you can't be teaching the child from day one, some Snow White story. We have to find what it takes. You have to take books and color them. Make something else out of what if that's all you can find, then do something with it. Okay. So these are some of the principal elements I think all parents, mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunties should be aware of. And we should share that with nannies and people who might be taking care of our children. But please, 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 cut the shouting at them and cut the name calling. Cut it out, please. It does not help the child becomes better. It does not help to improve the situation. So we really, really need to work on that. And it's vital. Remember, life is a continuation. I'm leaving. I'm going. Franz will continue. Franz will go. His children will continue. His children will go. His great-grandchildren will continue. But in order to have that continuation, we have to do the proper transmission. We have to do the proper transmission. We have to be careful as to how we do it. Thank you very much for your patience, for your listening. As I said, today was just a touch because there have been so many people questioning, so many questions about that. But we're planning a special, spent 2 hours on raising our children with some guests in the know so we can really get into the subject. Now, let's go back to Bayyinah and Friends. How are we going to organize Bayyinah and Friends? We have to have information. So right now, this week, we're collecting info. From what I could retain, I know that we have some webmasters with us. We have lots of entrepreneurs that are present. We have people who do media, publicity. We have engineers. We have health people. We even have a follower of Dr. Sebi. That's big. That's very big. Thank you very much. In fact, a couple. So that's very good. So we're very happy to see the people that are participating in Bayyinah Friends. Now we want to set up objective. So Bayyinah Friends can have specific goals and shapes and have a structure where everyone is responsible for something. Everyone. There's some already, like people like Francie is a first soldier, first trooper. At first, the only army, the entire army was France Cool. Everything, Bayyinah call, France, how do we do this? France, I don't have that. France, how do? All right, now we have Kwesi, we have Alicia, we have Joelle. Quite a few people are starting to take in, and we are structuring the form. We're giving Bayyinah Bello the right form, a form that's aiming accomplishment. We want that if in 1 year or in 6 more months or 1 year, we do that type of program again, that will not be a program that we put on YouTube or anything. That's our program that we're doing for ourselves. We have to use every tool that is available. So we push forward the freedom of our people. So it's not just about talking. There has to be actions. There has to be purpose. There has to be accomplishment. And we have to be able to evaluate ourselves regularly. Bayyinah Friends is a sort of offshoot of Fondation Félicité, even though Fondation Félicité is way over in Haiti. But for the past 20 years, everything I do is to build Fondation Félicité. So what is Fondation Félicité? If you're going to be involved, you need to have information too. Just like I asked you information about you, then you must be informed. Fondation Félicité was created in November 1919, is when we took the decision. We were about 50 people who gathered and decided that Haiti needed a structure that would work. The very first purpose that was named was history, because there are so many lies, so many misinformation as to what happened in our history. We decided that would be the #1 work. And the second, as we evolve, we realize that history is just an element, but the purpose to history is identity. So then identity is the first step. So we need to do our research in whatever area we do it, aiming for strengthening the identity of our people. First, we saw it just Haitians, and then little by little, it became more and more clear, all of us who've gone through the Ma'afa, all of us who've gone through slavery, all of us who've gone through colonization, we have the same problem. The common problem everywhere is that through slavery, through colonization, through the Ma'afa, they have damaged our identity. And we need to rebuild our identity. How do you rebuild identity? By knowing the right information about yourself and those who look like you. If you don't do this work for yourself, no one can do it for you. No one can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. So we do the research, we publish it in whatever form, we do documentaries, we write books, in whatever form. We encourage artists, there were quite a few artists too today, encourage artists to produce songs and films and theater or whatever, things that will make our people rise. I'll give you a simple example. If we take 1,000 books written about Black people in the past 50 years, we will find that these books, 90% of them talk slavery, 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 slavery. as if there was nothing. We didn't exist before 1492. Okay? We just, there were no Black folks around the planet. So that's because it's written that way. It's put in us a perception of ourselves that is totally false. And as one of our guests once says, Yashika Lopez, she said, well, if we take 1400 years of slavery and colonization and domination out of 100,000 years of existence, then you will see the 1400 years is just, if we change that to make it the 100,000 years as one day, 24 hours, then the 1400 years would barely be 6 minutes. So it's the 6 minutes of disaster that they put in us all the time, which handicap us. We are unable to see ourselves beyond those 6 minutes. And that's what Fondation Félicité wants to correct. And that's why we spend time identifying what were we doing prior to Ma'afa, what did we accomplish, how did we accomplish it, what are those who try to bring us back to the road of freedom, and those are the efforts that we're making. But of course, very difficult, very hard to move. We have great objectives, aspirations. One of the things, for example, where we are right now, we've been there 20 years. We have no more space to add shelves for books. We have no more space for, a lot of things. When we first moved into that place, it looked like a huge place, but today it's a tiny place because, the Fondation has grown. And also the owners are asking, they want to sell the place. If we buy it, we have to also plan to add a floor, because as it is, it won't respond. But down the road, there is an absolutely fabulous place. There is a place on 1 acre, swimming pool, space to raise chicken, fowls, space to raise fish, space to raise goat, lots of trees, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. So a place that would enable Fondation to really be autonomous. But the owner has not said that she wants to sell yet, but it's also money that we do not have. We don't have for now, but anything you don't have now, you could have tomorrow. And especially if we are a team working on it, things like that can be taken. It's not an obstacle. It's a temporary obstacle, let's say. But anyway, what I really want to share with you is that the Fondation works on six angles. We have 6 axes. The objectives have 3 elements: education, justice, and health, because those are the things that Empress Félicité worked on. So those are our 3 must. Now, but we have structured it into 6 axes. For example, we have the axe of researching people 100 years and more and learning from them, because they've lived almost half the age of the country. And those who are clear-minded, boy, they can tell you, they can teach you many, many, many things. So there's the research, there's book research, let's say, and there's the ground research, like collecting information from centenarians. We have the acts of celebrating our people. That's important, because so many people, so often, for example, even this week, when we were celebrating Marcus Garvey, we had Haitians who said, well, Marcus Garvey was not Haitian. I said, yes. But what's the difference between Haiti and Jamaica? And do you know that in the 1800s, over 300 Jamaicans left Jamaica, took a boat, came to Haiti, and asked to become Haitian citizens, and they were welcome. And they came into the country and became citizens. They didn't want to stay in the slavery that was going on in Jamaica anymore. And we have quite a few cases like this, but our so-called, what they call the history in Haiti, does not tell of Haitians of that. They think Haitians are people who always are running to go someplace else. Not long ago, in the 60s or 70s, 100 Chinese came to Haiti and wanted to be citizens of Haiti. Some of them stayed. So Haiti is a country that it's a sort of, it attracts. People who know Haiti's history are attracted to it. And Haiti is created, the founder said that this is the land for anyone who wants to be free. If you are running from slavery and you step foot on Haiti, we are duty bound to welcome you and give you citizenship. That was the original text. The original text, that's the way Haiti was open to anyone that was a freedom fighter, not a slaver. If you're a slaver, we don't want you here. But freedom fighters have their place in Haiti. It doesn't matter where they're from. So we work with history. We do the work, the cultural work. We have the commission where the youth is encouraged to take initiatives and do things. Like right now, we have a group of volunteers who are working on how to solve the waste problem in Haiti. Because everywhere you turn, there's so much, so we have a group of 6 young men who are aided by, in fact, Luc Nair is one of the people, people who are involved already. Luc Nair is one of them. From Switzerland, he found a program, and every Wednesday, he works with a group of young people at the Fondation so they can think and come up with a project and create a structure to deal with this particular problem, the problem of waste in Haiti. So I talked of centenarians, young people, history, celebrations, autonomy is key. More you can do for yourself, the more freedom you will give to yourself. And we have not worked much on the financial part of things, and that's our weakest point in Fondation. We've been blessed, we've accomplished a number of things, but certainly not enough compared to what we have in our plans. We usually plan 10 years ahead. We must always look ahead. An organization cannot plan from next week to next week or 2 days ago, or no. We have to have 10 years or at least 10 or 25 years plan. The more you can look ahead, the more you will get ahead. You can say it that way. Okay. In fact, on that score, let me share that, Japanese children, when they turn 18, they have to submit to their family a 5-year budget. They're not gonna celebrate, have a big party, spend money, cake, and this, that, and the other. No, no, no. You're gonna give us your plan, and we see what you want to do in the next 5 years. Then this uncle will say, I'll take care of that part of things for you. I will finance this part of you. If you do this, you'll get that. If you do, So everyone in the family come and contribute to a very solid plan. And I think we need to, us as a people, we need to change that whole practice of birthday parties. Bring a whole bunch of people together, spend a lot of money for one day with no purpose, no gain, no investment. I don't think it's a very good practice. So this gives you a global idea as to what Fondation works into. What have we done? Among the things we've done so far, we're the ones who really been in the forefront of talking about the accomplishment of women in Haiti's history. And today, even the worst politician will not make a speech without mentioning Sanit Belair or Marie Claire or somebody. And it is through our work also that 7, 8 years ago, when they were redoing the bills in Haiti, they came and asked us to give them descriptions of what Sanit Belair looked like. And that's how come she got to be on the 10 gourds in Haiti. We help our volunteers. Everybody is a volunteer. We don't have the personnel in Fondation Félicité. So everyone gives their time, invests their time to build the Fondation. And as you know, breathing is the basic principle. Take and give. So they give us time, they do work, and we help them get into universities and further their education. But always with and the funny thing is we say to them, after we pressure them to get into school, we don't care. Oh, but my parents don't have no money. We don't care. Where the money's gonna come, we'll figure it out. I don't have this, I don't have that. That's not a problem. Get into school and then we're gonna see it. And sure enough, that's what happened to many of them, and they got into school. Now, when they get to the 4th year, they say, okay, when you get the diploma, you're gonna have to burn it. I mean, I worked 4 years for this. You're saying you're gonna have to burn it. Okay, the concept is, if you take this diploma and you think this is, oh, life is, I'm not, what's your name? I came from such and such school, I have then it's useless. You're using it as a parade. You're using it, it's not part of your life. It's not the diploma that's important. It's what you learn that's important. If you're giving the piece of paper that an importance that it doesn't have, we never make them burn it, really. We just make them burn it in the mind, not giving it a value that it doesn't have. And I also, as I say often, we don't do free advertisement. When we've paid to get our education, we don't go around advertising for free for where we got the education from. So these are things we have to think. We have to own our own self and know what we're defending in everything that we're doing. So this gives you an idea of what Fondation Félicité does. Right now, as I'm away from Haiti, it's 4 young people. The oldest one is maybe, she's just turning 30. They're 30, 25, 23, and I think 19 is the youngest one. So these are the 4 young people who are running the Fondation, taking care of everything, making calls, writing. In fact, tomorrow, the Fondation will be represented at a symposium. It's the 29-year-old girl who will be presenting. So as we work in such a way that the young people around us learn to do all the things that we do and are able to carry it through. And often with very, very, very little return for them, but they do get a lot of knowledge. They do get a lot of self-control. They do acquire discipline. That's one thing everywhere they've gone and worked. People always notice how disciplined the young people who come from Fondation Félicité are. And that's a key. Without that, you can't build nothing. So that's why it's important for us that everything we do, then when you're speaking, if it's 30 seconds you have to speak, you have to give yourself the discipline, 30-second speech. Not go on 5 minutes and say, well, but I'm not yet finished. No, you were given 30 seconds. And that's what it has to be. So now you have a better idea as to what Fondation Félicité is. And that is the potomitan. That's what I live for. So when someone say, oh, Miss Bello, Bayyinah, Mon Bello, whatever, I admire you. When you say that to me, you know what I hear? I hear, you want to work for Fondation Félicité. That's what I hear. So maybe France has a few pictures for us. Do you? That we would, you know, especially that back, that guy whose back is all written.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, what's wrong?
You know, do that since it's there. Remind our audience, yes.
Okay, yes, I'll do that. Here we go. Well, let's do Fondation since we're on the topic.
Okay. Fondation Marie-Claire Heureuse Félicité Bonheur Dessalines, Fondation Félicité for short. You can contact us via Instagram, Fondation Félicité. Official Bayyinah Bello, we're working hard. Hopefully, maybe next month, we will have the official opening. What's that again? What's up? 509-2940-0869. That's the contact if you want to talk to some of our young folks. You might want to just give them a call just so that they feel, just because I'm not there, they're not alone. So you might want to give them a call and say, you hear about how they're working so hard and they're doing such great things. They're there from 10 to 4, Monday through Friday. Then there is our website, www.fondationfelicite.com. And if anyone wants to help, donate on PayPal for fondationfelicite@gmail.com. While we come on this, one more thing has come to mind. I have to share with you that I feel pretty bad when I have people like Dr. Nobles, Professor Small, all kind of people who I know are working hard and have very little means. They're just like me. They don't have much. I don't like to have them come, spend 2 hours, and then we have nothing to give them. It's great when there is, you know, enough contributions that we can have, you know, I would never hand $100 to, you know, these people. But if we have a contribution of a certain figure, you know, $300, $400, $500, then gladly I will hand it over to my guest. So it's important. It's part of, you know, these are people who've been giving up their lives for a very long time, have made lots of sacrifices, investment into us. I don't like for them to come in and work and have nothing in return. I mean, I know they're not expecting it. I know they're not, you know, but it's the question is the give and take. We like to be able to do it at every level, the give and take. So we continue.
Yes, and on that same note, I want to acknowledge everyone that has constantly donated to Bayyinah and Friends. I know it always seems like it's the same names that come up and donate every week. So I appreciate each and every one of you. It's because of you guys that, you know, we get up and we do this work, right? We want to keep it free. We want to, the main mission is the message, right? So we're never going to charge, you know, for this type of information because we want to disseminate the message far and wide, right? Because we are freedom fighters. We want to see our people, we want to lead them to victory, and the words that Professor Bello shares with us on a weekly basis is necessary for us to arm ourselves properly as we go out there. So we will not charge. It will always be a donation. So I want to thank everyone that has donated in the past and will continue to donate, and encourage those who have not donated to donate, because those funds will go to a great cause.
Are you getting in trouble with your...
Okay, thank you, Charlene. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll move on to the next thing. Let's see what type of images I can get up on the screen. Oh, that's for my bookmark. Okay, so we have this gentleman here.
want you guys to take a very good look. See, I'm particularly attached to this picture. One of the reasons is because Desaline's back was worse than this, if you can imagine it. His back had even more warps all over. And one time when it's mentioned is that they were, after he became emperor, and they were debating education. And he said he wasn't going to say anything about education because the only school he went to, and he took off his shirt and showed his back to everyone. That's where the writing was happening, on his back, with whips and whatnot. And he said to Etienne Mentor, who was his Ministry of Public Instruction, who's from Martinique, by the way. That's the other thing. Haiti's story is so many people were involved. It's not a, little thing. So anyway, he told this guy from Martinique, as the Minister of Education, says, I didn't have any intention to speak on education because I've never been to school. So which shows us this is somebody who knows his limits, who knows his areas, his strength. And, but I've heard you say French books, French teachers, French this and French that. Says, be careful. The French educational system taught French children to hate Black people. Don't you come here with a program that will make our people turn against their own parents. The man had such vision, and that's exactly what happened. Haiti went on with the next, with Pétion. They went on and copied everything French, French, French. And today, certain nations feel they are French, so they can look down at the rest of us. So, but you see, those things on the back, as hard as it is, when they put it on the mind, it's even worse. All right, here are VEVEs. VEVEs are, the system of VEVE is a language which we are still working at and trying to decode. There's a lot of work to be done. And I hope at least in showing you the VEVEs, some of you will get rid of, many of us have been poisoned, have been vaccinated against, as soon as you see that, this is, that's not church stuff. So, but the Arawak people used VEVEs. It was mathematical, they had a mathematical function, scientific function, I would say. They would trace a VEVE when the island was threatened with meteorites falling on it. And they knew exactly what VEVE to trace to send that thing back out to protect the island. So the force that is in a VEVE, we can't begin to capture it. At home today in Verdun, we use VEVE to call on laws. And when you call on a law like Simbiganga, whenever he arrives, he says, I am the general of the armies of Jupiter. And people like me, I ask him, when you say Jupiter, what do you mean? Who are you talking about? Says it's not a who. Well, what do you mean? Don't you know the planets? That's where I'm from. I'm from Jupiter. So if we can have a tracing of corn on the ground that pulls from Jupiter and bring to IT, there's a lot of knowledge there that we need to really break down and capture and have a hold on and own. So today, if I was raising children, I would have a book of VEVE for the children to color. I would let the children, because children are much smarter than we are. They would be able to decode it much faster, much better than us who've gone to our enemy's school. So that's one thing I would give to the children to trace, the VEVEs. make them bright.
Wow, you just gave me a great idea. Maybe a coloring book. Wow, look out for Thoroughbred Books.
I want 50%. Now I'm becoming a businesswoman too.
I see.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I mean when choose what you expose your children to. Look for things that look like pictures that looks like them, but important shapes, the ankh, the what you call them, the thing they have in Washington D.C. that they stole from France, that France stole from Egypt. The obelisk, yes. These are powerful symbols that we created. We must use them and expose our children to them in every situation. It's very important. And let me just mention that right now, Professor Lasconi of Congo, Congolese professor, he did a research. He went all around the globe looking for where the obelisks were. Well, guess what? No African capital has an obelisk, none. All the obelisks from Egypt, from Ethiopia, from different places were taken, and they're not small. They were stolen from Africa. And today, every European capital has at least one obelisk.
Wow.
Yes. All Euro-Christian capitals have obelisk. And what is an obelisk? Obelisk is a shape that captures governing power, work it, and give back what is necessary to do what you need to do for the country. That's what an obelisk is. So please put them in your homes. Draw them, the artists, draw them. Let our children draw them. Let our children discover more as to what it is and what it does. Expose our children to power elements.
Absolutely, 100%. So there are a lot of people asking about how can they figure out how their talents or their expertise can contribute to the foundation. What's the best way for them to maybe figure out what they can do or how they can help or stuff like that?
Okay. Well, last week, for example, Sister Ireola from Florida went with 2 people, and they did 1-week seminar for our volunteers, brought the program, put it on the computers. So now our library can be on computers. We could just type, and we know we need this book. Right now we have to, oh, you need this book, hold on. Well, call us 2 days ahead. We're gonna look for the book for you, and then when you can come 2 days, okay, so you can consult this book. Now with what Sister Ireola just did for us, it's gonna be a whiz for people to get to touch with. So we think of Fondation Félicité as a micro nation. So we need every talent. We have books that we have to write. We have books that are written but are not illustrated. We have all kinds of things. We have films we plan to do. We want to film on Dessalines. We want to film on Haiti's revolution. There's so many things that we want to do. So if once you are inscribed, once you are registered, and we know, and we could look and say, oh, so-and-so is so-and-so and so-and-so, we can say, all right, here is what department that you'll be in. Here are the things that we want to do. Tell us what you're willing to give us. You see, but we have to start by having the info. We have the info, so it's like today we are sort of doing the inventory of what are the competencies that are available. The next step will be, what are those who are willing to offer their competence? Okay, and once we have that, then you will know, here is a department, here is what we need to do in that area. And, you know, for example, there aren't enough children books for children. In some states, there's nothing. So everyone who wants to write for children, we would, if we had the means, we would publish you, we would do it, you know, help you put it out there, because it's a need of our people. Okay, we need designers. We need designers who will produce clothing that fits our Black bodies. We have to think about that. We need national designers who can think in terms of what would be a national, something that we all wear. If you remember, when Mao came in, and Mao went and he was going to do the Cultural Revolution, right? The first thing he did is dressed all the Chinese in the same outfit. From the president to the guy working the land or sweeping the floor, everybody had the same outfit. It's not for nothing that he did that. Look how quickly they rose. So we have to look at things very attentively. So for now, we're doing the inventory. You do have my email, Bayyinah Bello. Bayyinah Bello.
So what we'll do is, I'm going to send a follow-up email this evening, where I'll be able to capture what everybody mentioned today about what city they're in, what their profession is. And I would like for everyone to respond, like, to the survey or to the, you know, the inventory list. And then what we'll do at Fondación is we'll take a look at all of the projects that are currently going on that we need help with. And then we'll offer possibly to see if you'll be interested in helping with that project. And this, trust me, Bayyinah just gave a small percentage of all the things that the Fondación is working on. So there's plenty for everyone to do. There's plenty of work to be done, right? We haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg. So, you know, with everybody's assistance, with everybody's help, you know, we'll be able to make some great strides. So definitely look for that email. I'm going to put something together, and all it is your name, your city, your profession, and then we'll be able to hand that information over to the Fondación, and they can match it up with some of the projects that they have going on.
Absolutely. And just so you know, the reason, for example, we're asking for where you are. When, let's say next month we were doing a tour. Well, if we know that we have someone in that city, then of course in the team that would organize, that would be doing what need to be done, you would be involved because you've always been involved with us already. We're going to Liverpool, we'll certainly call on Mara to do certain things that has to be done. If we're going to, you know, wherever we're going, we like to know that we have who we have there. Okay. For example, that sister I told you that went down to Haiti and spent a week at the Fondation, this is a sister who I met in a book tour, and she had asked, what can I do to help? And so then the tour that she was supposed to work on did not take place. That was in Tampa. Didn't take place. But she called again and says, you know what? I want to go to Haiti. What can I do? And then I said, okay, here's what we need. It's okay. We can take care of the library. We'll take care of the books. So she went with 2 other people. She gave us a laptop. We didn't have enough. Put everybody to work. And our library is now really shaping up very nicely. So there's plenty. We have a 10-year programs. There's plenty to do. Translation is also a must. we believe that the same way the colonizers separated us via language, that means, you see, if you take the island of Haiti, one part speaks French, one part speaks Spanish. And already the languages are, I'm superior to you because, Spanish, skin, everything, every difference is made into. But Jamaica was first Spanish, then Jamaica became Dane, then Jamaica became English. So that's also all the infighting between the colonists that brought, Florida was a Spanish colony before it became a British colony. But anyway, the thing is that when we speak the colonist language, we have the colonist prejudice. Okay? Why would a Black person say, oh, today is a very Black day for Haiti? Haiti is a Black republic, Black empire, Black people, Black. Why would you use Black that way? Because you're not thinking. You're just using the language of the colonists, and their prejudice comes out of your mouth against yourself. Okay? So, as they used it, we will do the reverse work. By taking an information that one of us produced and putting it in the 5 languages, the 5 colonial languages, that give each one of these people who were, since they know nothing about me, they're looking down on me, when they see what we do and they know about us, then we would have better appreciation of each other. If in Shiro's book, if we're making a version to go to Jamaica with, we would definitely add Nani. We would definitely add female warriors of Jamaica would be part. So our people can say, yeah, Haiti did, but Haiti wasn't alone. Jamaica was fighting too. If we're going to Brazil, we have to put Dandara as part of the, we have to have a version with a couple of Brazilian female warriors like Dandara. We wouldn't put Zumbi because Zumbi is a male, but would definitely add some of the female warriors. So that way, it enables the Brazilian to know about what happened in Haiti. And then it also enables us to see how similar we are. Because, we both had a war, we both had female warriors, we both had all this information, historical information that is hidden from us. Then we would have better appreciation of each other. So everything we do, we need a Portuguese translation, we need a French translation, we need an Haitian. If it's done in English, we need an Haitian translation, and we need a whatever. If we do it in Haitian, then we need it in French, in English, in Spanish, in Portuguese, etc., etc. So there is work for everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, there it is, everybody. So, I'll definitely be reaching out, via email. I'll be sending out, some more information to collect your information so that we can all get to work. There's lots of work to be done, and, it's not a lot of time to do it. We gotta get this stuff going. So let's see. Okay, we got about 10 minutes left, Professor. So would you like to touch on anything else?
No, let's leave it for, they usually get a good 50 minutes. This time they only get 10.
Yeah, kind of like it's time for Q&A. Well, we have 10 minutes of Q&A. All right, so for those who do have a question, you could go ahead and raise your hands again, and I could go ahead and grab you for the question. I know there was a question that was in the chat room from Jade from what we were discussing earlier with the raising children. Jade, I don't know if you want to go ahead and go live and ask that question.
Yes, thank you. Peace, Mom Bello. Really quickly, I know that in the past you've talked about or warned parents about documenting their children on social media in terms of posting photos and videos of them, but I wanted to ask about why that is, and what should we be cautious of in terms of how we're presenting children and putting their images out there in public spaces virtually. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Well, especially somebody like you, Jade. You live in a society where people don't hesitate to do anything. And the first place they want to hurt you is your child. Remember, we're dealing with the people who used to kidnap the children of the kings and queens to force them to sell their own. So, have to be careful. Yeah, if it's not necessary, we don't put our children out there. We have to protect them.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have another question from Galaxy Tab A. I don't have a name for you. It just says Galaxy Tab A.
Greetings. This is Akua.
Akua.
One of my questions would be, could you also give us a list of some of the needs that you have? Because I think I, like many, wear a lot of different hats and do have a lot of different areas that we work in and could assist in. So if we could have like a list of needs, some of the organizational needs.
Sure. Thank you very much for asking. We definitely will give you the list.
Yes. Yes, the list is coming and it'll be shared with everyone. And it'll be like a sign-up sheet, right? Like we have all the different projects that we're working on, and then you could actually be able to choose which project you think you'll be able to best contribute to. So yeah, that's coming.
Yeah, because I think a lot of us have a different hats, and we do a whole bunch of different things. I have a wellness center, but I do videography. I do a lot of stuff. So just a list of things that we could probably fill needs.
All right, sounds good. Be ready. It's coming. All right, thank you, Akua. Okay, next, Melissa. Go ahead, Melissa. You can unmute and ask a question.
Hey, peace and blessings, Franz. How you doing, Ma Bello? Peace and blessings.
Fine, thank you.
That's good to hear. That's good. I wanted to know, as far as this year for Fondation Felicite, what are some of the main goals as far as like from an artist standpoint? What are you looking for from like the artists, the writers, the musicians, and things like that?
Our next big event is September 20th. The anniversary of the founder of Haiti, Jean-Jacques Dessalines. And every year we usually do 7 days now, from maybe since 2011, we do a 7-day celebration. Yes. So our people, some of our folks come in, like Professor James Moore, for example, at least 3 or 4 years. He came every year. We go around and visit the different accomplishments of Dessalines, visit different towns, go to the Citadel, visit the Citadel, et cetera, et cetera. And the last day on the 20th, so from the 13th to the 20th. So on the 20th is a big party. It's his 200, what is it this year? 260, it's out of my head right now. We're 2000? Okay, 1758. A math person, give me the numbers. We're 2020. And he was born in 1758.
32? 3? 2? 3?
232?
Yeah.
He's at least 200. No, we celebrated his 250 already. So it can be, it's in 208, he was 250 years old. So now it's 12 years later, 62. Okay.
62.
Yes, it's 62. Yeah, 262.
That's what I meant, 62.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. So then, we do those, we visit the Citadel, et cetera, and we have a big party. And that party generally is, we have theater pieces. We might take a segment, a portion, a part of his life, and put that into, you know, theater. I know one year we did when he asked Mike Lewis to become his wife. So even though we're partying, but through the party is still knowledge. So we like when artists can take information from our street and put it into songs, into theater piece, into whatever. Like Les Productions Yol de Rose, a few years back, had produced Haïti Terre de Feu, which represented 13 great personalities in the Haitian Revolution. And now there are no more, you know, because she doesn't have money, so she can't. I think it's something that would be great if we could refinance to produce more of that tape, because it's excellent information on our artistry, and it, you know. We also did years ago with Production Yol de Rose, we did something on 13 great women of the Haitian Revolution. And well, we're still, we never were able to produce the video because we did not have the means to. But we have all the clips, we have all the, you know, we produced the theater piece was, it's a 2-hour theater thing. And it was played at least 5 or 6 different places in Haiti. So we have a lot of film. You know, it was filmed every time, but we never had the money to turn it into a video. So that would be something else. You know, there's a lot of things. We have a lot of work on the way.
Is there like a budget? Is there like a movie or like a specific budget for films or things like that, or as far as like?
No, we don't have any money, as you know, that sits here for this. Everything we do, once we decide we want to try and do this, then we go out and we ask.
Oh no, I mean, I'm sorry. I meant to like, is there like, is there like a dollar amount we're trying to raise? I'm sorry.
How much we would produce that video?
I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
I would have to ask Yol. She's the one who, you know, that part is in her hands. So I don't have the figures, but I can get the figures for you.
I'm interested in being involved and helping.
All right. I will, you know, get the information and then we'll more about it.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, let's take these last 2 questions and then we can close out this session. All right, next question is Charlene Sampson.
Hi, thank you, Franz. Thank you, Ma Bello. Greetings again. My question is regarding the poem that we always read in the beginning. The second to last line and the last line, it talks about freedom. Without purpose, there's no freedom. But then in the last line, it says purpose keeps you from freedom. I'm just a little confused about that.
Sorry, purpose keeps you from freedom? That's not enough.
Yeah, in the last, I was reading it. The second to last line, I believe, it talks about purpose. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Franz. I appreciate you so much.
Third mistake.
Oh, sorry, the third to last. Without purpose, freedom hardly matters.
Purpose, freedom hardly matters. Yes.
Right. And then in the bottom, it says freedom is being shackled to identity and purpose.
Right.
So maybe I'm reading it wrong, because that's telling me that if you have purpose, you're not free. I don't understand.
No, that's not what that means. That means in order to be free, you must be shackled to identity. You must be shackled to purpose and direction.
Oh, I read it wrong. Oh my God, thank you so much. Oh, yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You see, if you don't know who you are, you can't even know what your purpose is.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is pulling on, like, it's so contradicting, but I'm like, I understand the third line. That makes sense to me. So how come this is going opposite? I read it so wrong. Thank you. Whew. Amen.
All right, thank you, Charlene. Glad we could clear that up for you. Okay, next, last question for this session is from Diana. Go ahead, Diana.
Hey guys, hi Lion, how are you? Hi Franz, this is awesome always. I guess for my light question is three parts. I just want to hear your thoughts. The first one is with children, you know, especially first I want to say the Haitian American Collaborative is always with you guys. Then secondly, part of one of the purpose, and especially talking about children, and I've learned this when we were doing with the flag raising, seeing about how important our elders are. Like my father passed, but it's the year that Marcus Garvey, for example, passed was 1940. That was the same year my father was born, so he would have been 80. So I truly believe that there should be a connection to our children and our elders, and even having you come to Connecticut was part of starting that conversation, and we had COVID. So that's my first part of with that importance for the movement of going on with Fund de Félicité, with Haitian Collaborative, everyone. My second part is in being a revolutionary or doing in this work, one of the words or one of the people that sits very heavily with me is Mary Jean, just because of the words when she was proposed to, and she's like, let's work on our country before we work on our family or our home. I feel like that's actually a very hard play to deal with sometimes, of actually properly being able to be in your home, lead your children, and be with the community as much as you need to. How would you balance that? And my last part is funds for us, especially for me, is exactly what I'm working on now. Things like developing funds within our community through like SUSUs, or kind of like crowdfunding within ourselves to help support certain things like that. So I don't know if that would also work over there and helping that structure, because I'm actually administrating a structure here in that manner. So that's just to give an idea. But those are two questions about the connection between our because I really believe our elders, our true elders, 70s, 80s, but they saw a revolutionary path so different from even like the days of of Martin Luther King, for example. So I just want to express on that and the family structure, and just let you know that we are working on ways of developing financial stability within our community so we can fund our own structures.
Very good. Very good. Yes, that's the weak point for us. But every time too that we talk about creating our own structures, be very, very careful. There's a film. What's the name of that film? Maybe Luc, if you're around, if you're still around, because we talked about this week. If you could put the name of that film, thank you.
Yes, I will do. I will do. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Anytime, thank you very much, Luc.
My pleasure.
Anytime any of our people, it's not that our people never tried. We tried all the time. Look what happened with Garvey. Garvey did a masterful job with pennies from our people, collect pennies, buy boats, create newspapers, create all kind of things. And then the next thing we know, oh yeah, Garvey had this problem and this one, the state, arrest, deportation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have to, whatever we're building, remember, if you plant one small plant, you must protect it. You must figure out how to protect it. So if you're planning money, bank, anything having to do with money, you have to be very serious about protection.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What would you say about the children and running a family while running a community as well? Or so that's just that part, and our children, connecting our children with our elders.
I do not. I think it's because of the society, the way this society is built. It's a society of separation. If we look at our history, most of the women warriors, many of them went to war with their newborn babies. Okay. If we look at our structure in, if you take voodoo ceremonies or anything that's going on, there is no such thing as don't come with the children. Even if the children are going to play, run around, make noise, you know, well, that's their business. They're taking care of their children's business. and we're going to take care of what we have to take care of. But the children are not far. So the children are learning even while they're playing, while they're goofing around, while they're doing whatever they do. There's still the songs come to them, the this, and one day you stop and you say, you're singing a song, and you see the child's gonna sing with you. You see, because the child is learning. But we have today, we have a separatist mental structure. So we tend to want to remove our children from our work. We tend to say, you know, go away, you know, something. I'm sure while we're doing this program, you're hearing I have 2 or 3 grandchildren here. And, you know, every once in a while you hear somebody shout. You hear something, you know, hey,
Right.
you know, that's part of, you know, we have to learn to do that again. Things that you're doing, you want your daughter, no matter how young, you want her to be part of it. You want to take her with you. People may have a strange attitude, and it might make you not feel comfortable coming back with your daughter. But the natural thing is that, you know, I mean, I think of somebody like Captain Guillaume Charlot. Guillaume Charlot was in the army. But when she was going to really tough battles, she made these huge skirts with big pockets. She put her 2 daughters in her pocket. She had these special pockets made for her daughters. And, you know, she went about, climbed on a horse, everything with her children in her pocket. And she was sure she was going to come back home. She was not going to die and let her children to, you know.
And that would be a different purpose too. That's a different type of drive in a war. You're not going to have your babies hurt. That's true.
Another level of purpose. That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have to reframe our minds in a way of seeing that our children is part of our lives and life is a continuum. When I'm gone, my children have to be able to carry on. So my children have to be involved in the things that I do. We tend to chase the children away from every work we do.
Right. Do you, and the last, and I will end, but one more thing, because it's one thing I did say to my daughter. I do bring her particular for me, because for me, it's a lineage thing for us, right? But do you ever feel there's a time, especially like if it's, not to be pretentious, but if it's like your next, if that's the next in line, is there a time where they shouldn't be for protection, that they should be away?
You don't want them on the media, you don't want them in places where they're going to take their face and you don't know who is going to do what. But if you are in a structure where, you know, you have control over who's there and what's happening, you know, yeah, the children should.
Thank you so much for your answer. Thank you for always being so supportive of us here in Connecticut. And you guys, once again, we back everything you do and hopefully be able to come to a financial place where we can be just as sustainable in helping you guys and our purpose here in Connecticut, and hopefully get us connected back to IET, because a lot of our movement is to hope to go right back home and work there. So, and it's amazing to hear about that type of land that could be acquired, because that's really a hope.
It will be acquired. It
will be acquired. Will be acquired. Right. That's definitely a hope. It's an extreme dream. So that's amazing to hear. Thank you so much. I won't keep you guys any much longer.
Thank you very much to all. Diane, take good care.
You too. You too. Take care. Always beautiful in pink on a Thursday. The perfect right. The perfect way.
All right, thank you, everybody. I think that wraps up our session. So I'll give the last word to our host, Professor Bayyinah Bello.
Thank you very much, Franz. And thank you, Nagode, Asante Sana, to all of you. I feel that you have received the message and you have responded, and I'm very, very grateful. So in the name of all of our ancestors, all those who walked the freedom path before us, and all those who accompany us as we walk it, and those who will come after us and continue the work, We thank each one of you. We bless each one of you. Go in health, wealth, and power.
All right. Thank you, Professor Bello. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this session of Bayyinah and Friends. And make sure you look out for the email from me so that we can all figure out how we can contribute so that we can push this work forward. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next Thursday on Bayyinah and Friends. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Bye,
Peace and blessings.
Peace, blessings,
Peace
and
and
power.
blessing. Thank you. Yep.
Welcome, power.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is like a very
Fanny,
fancy
pretty so.
and fancy. Oh, of course, fancy's fancy mask.
I know, fancy's pretty so. I can't. I can't. That's my girl.
Need some masks. Whenever y'all come across a nice mask, go ahead and mail one to me.
Oh, mine looks like anonymous, so I don't know if you want that. I got the anonymous mask looking.
Yes. All right, everybody.
Don't want that. Bye, guys.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
friends.
day.
Thank you, Mabelo. Bye, guys. It was a pleasure. Bye.